I want to thank you all for being here today for an exciting series of announcements. I have often said and continue to understand the importance of surrounding yourself with high-quality people. And one of the things that I am most proud about is the caliber of individual that I have been able to attract to public service and who's stayed in public service. But occasionally, people go on to do other things, and often, I'm not going to say bigger and better things, but continue to serve the public in different ways. And as many of you, I think all of you know, this year I announced a couple of weeks ago that I was appointing Derek Thomas, who is over here to my right, who has served us as a personnel director and came to the city as a lawyer for our corporation counsel, that I would be appointing him to fill the vacancy on the city court that was made through the election of Steve Doherty. And so Derek is going to be joining the bench, and we are going to be losing an able and talented lawyer and public servant. So while I am very happy for the people of the city of Syracuse, it also put a great void in what we need here in the city of Syracuse in our personnel office. And given the kind of changes that are going on the federal level with labor laws and regulations, I felt it was incredibly important to be able to have somebody in that role who was skilled and talented and understood the kind of needs that we have and could work with changing regulations and adapt on the fly. And as I thought long and hard about this, I kept coming back to the same person. A person who had ably filled that role before. And so I asked the current corporation counsel, Bob Stamey, if he would help us out by taking his able talents and skills as a lawyer and his experience as a personnel director and move back to that role. Because, as I said, given the kind of tumultuous times that are going on and the change in new administrations and how that's going to impact our labor laws and rules, and we as a city, I just felt it was no time to be able to have somebody be behind a learning curve. And Bob very graciously agreed to take on this challenge, and I'm very happy that he did. And that left us with an opening in the Corporation Counsel's office. And I thought long and hard about this, and really on a hope and a dream, I called my friend Judge Fahey and said to him, Joe, I have one last year in office, and I've been given this incredible opportunity by the people of the city of Syracuse, and I want to make sure that we finish strong and that we have somebody in the Corporation Counsel's office who can continue the able leadership that Bob established and Mary Ann Doherty before him. Would you think about joining us? And to my surprise, he said, yes, I would think about joining you. And I am pleased to say that he has indeed agreed to join us for the last year of my administration. So while we have, on the one hand, somebody going to the bench, we have somebody coming from the bench to join us. Joe, of course, needs no introduction to the people of our community. He has been an able jurist, a terrific and able criminal defense lawyer, an elected official for the city of Syracuse. There has been no better public servant, and I am just thrilled and excited that he agreed to step away from retirement and to join us for the last year of my administration. And I will end with where I began. I have been profoundly grateful for the opportunity to serve the people of this city, but even more profoundly grateful that we have been able to get a high caliber of individual who is passionate and believes in public service to join us. And the people that I have standing behind me to the right meet that caliber and meet that criteria. And so I am just thrilled to be able to announce these changes and to continue to serve the public ably with the best of minds and the best of talents and the best of skills, which is, after all, what the people of the city of Syracuse deserve. So with that, let me introduce the man who needs no introduction, but Judge Joe Fahey, soon to be Corporation Counsel Joe Fahey.
Thank you very much. As I was coming in this morning, some of you said to me, how do you like retirement? And I said, I love retirement, and I do love retirement, but I also love the city of Syracuse. So when the mayor called and asked if I'd be willing to fill in this position for the last year of her administration, I didn't need a lot of urging. I'm looking forward to working with people upstairs that I think are top-notch lawyers. I'm looking forward to helping the mayor accomplish whatever goals we need to accomplish now in the last year of her administration, and can't wait to get on board and begin to have those discussions.
So that, I'd entertain any questions that anybody has. Jeff, you look like you have a question.
I'm just curious, I mean, I know that it's stable and it's not anything difficult, but kind of what that's like for you to kind of have all this shuffle, and obviously you get quality people, but it's still a shuffle of people into different spots. And
It
what
is.
that's like for the overall administration.
Well, you know, it's bittersweet. We love Derek. He's a talented lawyer. We're going to miss him. We love Sharon Owens, and she became the director of Southwest Community Center. You never want to stand in people's way for achieving what they think is the best next step for them. And as I said, you know, having now been mayor 7 years, I've been very grateful for the people that I've been able to attract, the people that I've been able to keep. But I also understand that people, you know, have great talents, and we want to make sure that they're in a place where their talents match what the challenges are. And so you understand that that's part of what the opportunity of being mayor is, to both attract people, to keep people, but also to say to them, you know, go on and do other things and continue your public service. And you know, Mary Ann Doherty was once Sharon Owens. I mean, there are a number of people, and I am grateful for the fact of the service that they gave us. And we'll continue to be grateful for the people who continue to serve us, and we will make sure that we always have a high-quality representation.
Is it usually when a staff is in a lame duck administration?
It hasn't been. It hasn't been. I suspect that if I have to find somebody in November of 2017, it will be, but it has not been.
It's probably a dumb question, but will Judge Fahey be able to draw a full salary and his pension?
He's going to be doing the job as a corporation counsel, and he will be getting a salary as corporation counsel. And Joe, I believe the answer to that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he will be able to draw his pension as well.
There's no conflict there the way there was with your deputy mayor a few years ago.
I don't believe so, no. In fact, I should say I've been instructed that there is no conflict, which is why it's important to have a high-quality personnel director to answer those questions.
Are there, what major contracts are in discussion?
A number of them. Police is in discussions, and then we are close to settling some. I don't want to get out in front of those because there's procedural issues that have to be, you know, votes that have to be taken in discussions. But as I can tell you, as the mayor, you settle one contract and then the other one is expiring. So it's really it's a rotating challenge and/or obligation. You're always in contract negotiations.
Any particular issue that Corporation Counsel is dealing with now that will you know, come before you need somebody like former judge?
I think we need somebody like Bob Stamey and Derek and the former judge for all the issues that come to us. You know, part of what makes being in a city so exciting is that every day is different. And when every day is different and every challenge is different, you want to have the best and brightest with you to figure out how to navigate this. And given the recent changes and the election results, the waters are going to get much more tumultuous than they are right now. At least that's what we perceive to be the likelihood and what we're hearing from the soon-to-be presidential administration. So we want to have the best minds behind us so we can figure out how to react to those changes.
Tumultuous in what sense?
Well, you know, what's going to happen to the Affordable Care Act? How does that affect us as an employer of our folks? What's going to happen to the Fair Labor Standards Act? What's going to happen to the overtime regulations that were put through with executive order and may now be rescinded with the executive order on January 21st. That's why you need somebody of Bob Stamey's caliber there who can understand this is how we have to react to it. Thank you all very much. Have a good day.